Hello, Dawn Moore, Allegiance Title Company. Let's talk title today. In a class I was teaching this week covering title and survey issues, we had a lot of discussion about judgment liens and homesteads. As we learned in Real Estate 101, our Texas Constitution protects our homestead from foreclosure by judgment creditors, such as credit card holders or hospitals and doctors for unpaid medical bills, or prevailing parties in lawsuits. However, this protection only extends to the homestead. If our property is not homestead, the creditor has the right to go after that property to satisfy the lien. To perfect a lien against a piece of property of the debtor, the judgment creditor obtains a judgment in a court of law. They then file that notice in the form of an abstract of judgment in the real property records in every county in which they think the debtor may own property. Once that abstract of judgment is filed in the real property records, it attaches to all property the debtor may own in that county, except for homestead. The key to this protection is that the property is and continues to be used as the homestead of the debtor. If the debtor ever abandons that property as their homestead, that lien or liens then immediately attach. Now, abandonment must be more than just going on vacation or even temporarily moving for a job project if the debtor intends to move back to that property and use it as his homestead and he doesn't buy another piece of property. However, because the lien will attach to property that is non-homestead, if the title company's search shows an abstract of judgment against the owner of a piece of property, the title company is entitled to require a partial release of lien from the creditor. This release releases the property only and not the debt obligations of the debtor. The title company has the right to require the creditor to acknowledge homestead. The title company is not in the position to determine and waive it on their own. The law also requires that if the property is in fact homestead, the creditor must sign a release of lien as against the property or be subject to a lawsuit for clouding title. Judgment creditors will require proof of homestead. Generally, this consists of two affidavits from two disinterested parties who have personal knowledge that the debtor has lived in the property and continues to live in the property as his homestead. They will require an affidavit from the debtor claiming the property as his homestead, and they will most likely require a copy of the tax certificate showing that the debtor has filed a homestead exemption on the property. Some creditors go as far as requiring a physical inspection by the escrow agent of the property to determine that it appears the debtor still lives in the property up to closing. Once we prove that it is homestead in this fashion, the creditor will sign a release of the property. The time it takes to get this kind of release from a creditor is generally about 10 days to 2 weeks. Time enough to gather the necessary affidavits and provide it to the creditor, and time enough for the creditor to review and sign a release and return it to the title company. This is just one example of the curative work your escrow agent does for your seller. Allegiance Title is here to help you and your clients experience a successful closing. I hope to see you in one of our Allegiance Title offices soon. Thank you.